Angela Fazio is an industry powerhouse who has overseen 40,000 homes sold and $9 billion in production. And Kristen Cantrell is one of the nation's most accomplished team leaders, helping thousands of agents build their businesses. They are passionate about educating, encouraging, and empowering moms in real estate. Our next episode starts now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moms in Real Estate. I'm Kristen Cantrell, your solo host today. And today we're going to be talking to Natalie Rivero out of Florida. And I'm so excited because she's going to be talking about learning how to rebuild momentum after a pandemic and having a newborn baby, which I think we can all really get a ton from just the rebuilding momentum, because sometimes when you're out of that flow, getting back in is the hardest part. So I'm so excited to hear from you, Natalie. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful and I feel so honored. So yes, I had a baby. Well, I was pregnant during the pandemic. I've been in real estate for 6 years. And during the pandemic, I was pregnant with a little baby boy. And so, obviously the fear of not knowing how it would affect the pregnancy, I kind of had to take a little bit of a step back. And then, again, I am also a single mom. So having the baby in September, then starting over in January. And obviously we know that in our industry, whatever we do today, we don't see for another 60 to 90 days.
Isn't that the truth? Yes.
Yeah. So when I started working again in January, it was a little bit stressful and a little bit discouraging, having to rebuild and start making contacts again and reaching out and building relationships all over again. It was to the point, I think, that I was like, is this what I really should be doing? On top of, dealing with the mom guilt.
Oh my gosh. So many moving parts to overcome. And I think that sometimes we always you sit back and you're like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And the self-doubt creeps in, and that's got to be really hard with all those moving factors.
It is very, very challenging. The mindset is the tricky part. And to be honest, rebuilding was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because I've always, definitely. I've always worked in my business, never on my business. Right. So I feel like I've always been a workhorse, get leads, convert them, get them into the house, sell this house. Never really sat down and focused on systems and hiring a transaction coordinator and all of these other moving pieces that make for a successful business.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is such a good eye opener, right? Like you have to work on your business too. So when, what would you say, what made you sit and think I've got to do this instead of just go? What was kind of your defining moment of, okay, I've got to sit down and plan this out?
Well, for sure, 100%, it was the fact that I always said the day I got into this industry for the flexibility, quote unquote flexibility, because we work harder than a 9-to-5er sometimes. So I said, this is a great industry to be in. When I have a kid, whenever that day comes, I'll be able to pick and choose my schedule. So now, present day, I am in this moment that I said 6 years ago that I would be in at some point. Yeah. So now it was the aha moment of okay, I need to use this to my advantage, the rebuilding, and start adding in those things that are going to let me take a step back, every once in a while and spend time with my son and create those boundaries with my clients and set the right expectations with my clients where, business time is business time and my family time is my family time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's so important. So what are some of the main things that you've put into place in your business that has helped you? Because tell everyone, where's your business at right now?
So thankfully, right now, obviously here in South Florida, it's a crazy market. Mm-hmm. Everyone is selling. It's definitely a seller's market. Things don't last longer than a few hours on the market. It's intense. So right now I've been predominantly a listing agent. I have about nine or 10. I think I have 10 active listings.
Hold on. I think I have 10. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. And again, your son is 11 months old, you guys. So she's been rebuilding for not a long time. You know, she had her time at home with her newborn baby.
Right.
Then she's rebuilding, and 10, maybe more. Who knows? Maybe you have 15. I think after like 7, you just lose count, right?
It's funny. I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful. And, every day I wake up and I tell myself, thank you, God. I'm so blessed. I've never been happier in my life, in my business. And as a mom, it's tough, but it's rewarding. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I want to real quick too. Like, you're a single mom too, you guys. Like, you are a badass bitch. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
love it. So tell us, I'm going to go back to my question real quick, but what are some of those main things that you put in place to be able to get yourself to this point so quickly?
So I made a big decision to switch my brokerage, right? That was number one. I was tired of working from home. I noticed that working from home, I was getting sidetracked by housework and this and that. I needed to be where there was a community. I needed to be where there was people doing better than me, right? It's what's that saying, surround yourself with the five people around you is who you are or something like that.
Yep.
So I switched to Keller Williams. I've always been at 100% brokerage, and I made that switch knowing that it was no longer 100% brokerage.
Yep.
And automatically when I switched, they were starting their class, the Bold class, and it's taking you back to basics. And it was the perfect time. I can't stress enough how perfect that was for me in the season of my life that I was in and the time of my life that I was in. It took me back to basics, which is what I needed at that time. I was rebuilding. So it was things that obviously I already knew because I've been in the industry for 6 years, but I was in such what I would call like a funk. I didn't know how to get out of it. I knew these things, just couldn't think of them at the moment.
Well,
so taking that, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, like, how humbling is that to bring like 6 years in the business, and you're kind of probably set in your ways, and to say, okay, I had to go back to basics, and it's a humbling feeling, but look what it's done. When you just let go and accept it, and like you just dive in, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was the best thing that could have happened to me. Within the class is 6 weeks long, and within those 6 weeks, I got 8 listings.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's something simple, just the follow up. Make sure you're following up. Go back to your past clients. And I just attacked my sphere of influence. Who are the people that I talk to the most? My past clients, the people who follow me on social media. Those things are just the simple little things that I did that completely changed it for me.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's like a big thing too for everyone to think about. It's the commitment of whatever you're diving into too. Like you committed to this program, Bold, and you showed up for these things consistently, and it just popped for you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I can't stress it enough.
Yes, I know. And it's you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's literally changed my life when I really like thought about that, and like who I'm showing up with every day. And like me and Angela talk about it all the time. Like, if you don't have those people around you to push you and to make you want to do more regularly, like you need to go find that. That is like so important. And it's super important because this took me years to realize too, but these 100% shops, it's not always the right answer, because sometimes most of the agents I meet with that are at 100% shop don't know anybody at their brokerage. They don't have any training programs to plug into. And I can't tell you, like, when you get into like these other brokerages, yes, they charge more, but you will do more because you're around such a better environment, more people, more training. And it just
Right.
like, it takes you to that whole other level you didn't even think about. So I think that's a good point that you bring up. Now, another thing I really want to talk about is you mentioned mom guilt, and your baby is 11 months old. So you're really in that mom guilt phase. So I want you to kind of talk about that with us.
So I'll go back to saying, I am a single mom. So I have time sharing between me and my son's father, and I don't have my son 100% of the time. So I have mom guilt to like the 1,000th power.
Yes.
So I try to do as much as I can with him while the days that I have him on the days that belong to me. But I mean, regardless, you still have clients that call, and you still have clients that need you. And my phone is permanently attached to my hand all the time. And to the point that sometimes I have to tell myself, like, be in the present moment. You're not going to get these years back. So it's a constant battle back and forth, because by nature, I want to answer my client's call. I want to answer those text messages because I know how I am, and I want immediate results. I want it now. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that most people are like that too. But I do have an 11-month-old that needs my attention, that needs my affection, that needs me to be a present mom. So it's a constant battle of like me looking at my phone and then putting it down and talking to myself internally and telling myself, no, that can wait. So there's never the right answer, honestly. It's a day-to-day battle, and it's something that I'm sure will never go away.
Yeah, like I know we talked about this before we got on air, but it doesn't go away, but it does get better as they get older. At least it did for me, because I struggled with this so bad to the point where I would never work out because it was more time after work away from my kids. And it was like, I had to figure out something to where it was like, okay, I'm a better mom when I do these things and when I show
100%.
up. Yes, and part of that's going to work for me. Like, I love work. So for me going to work and working out and having my date nights and having like friend dates even, like I have to plug all that into the calendar so that when I show up as a mom, I am like really like, okay, like I've had my time for all this other stuff. Now I need to be present, and I need to put my phone on silent and put it away. And here's some things too, like, it's hard because you want to be a control freak sometimes as a mom, and you're like, I got to answer that call. I've got to be the one that's taking this. I got to be the one that's doing this. No, like, you have to learn to leverage and delegate if you want. Like, in order to be able to make all the things work, you have to do that. And sometimes it's taking a step back to take a step forward. And I think that that's where that like leverage piece comes in, and having the right people around you to help you with your business. And it's okay to have all those people helping you,
Absolutely. I mean, I for the most part, always, I have a tough, I don't say always, but I have a tough time delegating, because my personality is just like, I'm a yes person. I say yes to everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, can you do this for me? Yeah, sure. Later on at night, I'm sitting on my computer and I'm like, why did I say yes?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
But I mean, I'm getting there. I'm learning. I just agreed to use a TC, a transaction coordinator. So that's finally going to take some stuff off of my plate.
Game changer.
Yes. It was a big step. Mm-hmm. But I finally pulled the trigger, and I said, that's it. My time with my son and my own sanity, it's worth more. And this way I can even go out there and get more business. Well, so that was a big thing.
Yeah. And I mean, we talk about this all the time on the show, is like, remember, you're in different seasons at different times in your life. Yeah. And so when you have a baby at home, like, that's a season. And so you do, like we keep talking about, you've got to enjoy those moments. So give yourself some grace. And I know one thing that you've mentioned to me is it takes an army, or, it takes a village.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. So true. Right. So like being able to ask people for help and not feel bad about it. Ask for help.
Yeah. I'm super blessed that I have both grandmothers that are super hands-on. My mom, his mom, they're both hands-on. And, if we need anything, they're more than willing to help. his mom stays with the baby 2 days out of the week so we can work. And then my mom does the other 2 days. And then I put myself to do Fridays. Because, for the most part, if we have to do showings or whatever, we work on the weekends. So I give myself Fridays to do just the full day with the baby. And honestly, it's what has worked. And if we have to switch things around, we just all communicate and, it's all hands on deck.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this has been so great. I would love to just wrap it up with you giving some
Absolutely.
advice. Like if somebody is kind of in that they've taken a step back to for whatever reason and they're trying to regain momentum in their real estate business, like do you have any advice for anybody that you could give to them?
The best advice I can give is show up every day.
Yes.
Show up every day because, as I said earlier in this podcast, it's a matter of you're going to see whatever you did today in 60 to 90 days. Show up every single day. Be consistent. Don't lose faith. You're in that season for a reason. Oh, I rhymed. You're in that season for a reason. You're in that season for a reason, and you're going to grow so much from it because I certainly have.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That is such great advice. Thank you so much, Natalie. You've been
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Yes, and you guys,
thank you for having me.
If you're listening right now, you need to remember that in Chandler, Arizona, November 4th and 5th, we have our Moms in Real Estate twice a year Flourish event. And if you can make it out, oh my gosh, you have to. You guys, last time it was so much fun.
I'm definitely making it, by the way.
You are?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I decided I'm going for sure.
Okay, you guys, you have to come. I mean, here she's coming, and she's coming all the way from Florida. So no excuses. Come because we have such a fantastic lineup. We have happy hours so that you can mingle with moms in real estate all over the United States. And we have different activities. I mean, I think we have like goat yoga and we have cycling and we have, all the fun things. So please be a part of it. If you go to our Instagram, Moms in Real Estate, the link is in the bio, and we can't wait. So Natalie, it's been amazing. And you guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.